some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they not.
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a very good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Maiyegun live. And thank you so much for joining me. Remember that as soon as you tune in, right, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, share it, invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us. Maiyegun is live. And the way we do it now is that you can phone in anytime, all right, to make your own contributions, okay, whether for or against or any other opinions at all. So you can phone in. The number to call is right here on the screen. So let's get started tonight. Usually, right, every night on Maiyegun's Diary Politico, especially if we have programs, or if we have this program for like consecutively, okay, where we had a program last night, then we're having another one the following night, and then the next night. If you follow this series, right, they are usually the continuation of what we possibly covered yesterday. So in this case, it is about the ADC, the coalition. I think I'm about to give them name now, okay? But let's call them the coalitionists for now, okay? So the guys who initially came together as the opposition to put all of their eggs in one basket in order to put their weight together and confront the ruling party called the hegemony, the APC. However, that strange bedfellows, or the arrangement of these strange bedfellows, did not last. The first to leave was actually the last to join. So who happened to be the Peter Obi and the Obedient. A lot of people condemned him when he moved, by the way, like, you know, he should have stayed and fight them, the blah, and all that. Then developments that followed, or things that were like happening after he left, somehow as sort of given his supporters the confidence to say he knows better. That means he knew better, rather, than most of us, the spectators, according to those of you who condemned it at the time, all right? So since Peter Obi left, the remaining people in the coalition have been struggling, okay, to keep pushing, or should I call it the momentum. Unfortunately, the momentum seemed to have left them. However, they remained resolute, meaning maybe they actually have something in common. Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amaechi, and a man called Ayatollah. Now, these were the three aspirants running to become the candidate of the coalition party, ADC. Now, everything seemed to be going well until about 4 or 5 days ago. Something happened. A video made it to the internet where Rotimi Amaechi stormed out of the supposed chairman of ADC, David Mark's house. He stormed out of his house into his car and he drove off. So speculators made a lot of speculations. The one that looked a little bit credible was when they said the reason why Amaechi stormed out of David Mark's house was when they were discussing the options before them. Should they have primary elections, which they strongly believed will cause a lot of rancor or division? Or should they just have kind of like united, sort of like voice, give and take, bargaining and all that, where a consensus will be chosen, and those who are going to be told to step down, right, will be given the right to choose some certain positions in the government in case if they win the election, okay? So they usually do that. But they said when Amaechi got to David Mark's house, that wasn't what David Mark discussed with him, not like the way I put it, okay? David Mark actually told him categorically that majority of the leaders are very much comfortable with Atiku Abubakar to becoming the consensus candidate. And they have also spoken to him to pick Amaechi as his running mate. Something that they said, Amaechi was like, no, that's pretty much unacceptable. So it was that Amaechi's resistance, right, that led to them having to change their mind to go for consensus, to go for direct primaries. Now, these direct primaries, there are so many of us witnessed and watched yesterday, all right, seemed to have gotten to Amaechi himself. Because according to Amaechi, according to their reports that they are already releasing into the media right now, state by state, it seemed so far that Atiku is going to be the candidate. Although his own number is not as outrageous as that of Tinubu, but they are likely going to say Atiku scored close to maybe 10 million too. I'm not sure. But their number is not as outrageous like what we witnessed during the APC, for example, okay? So Amaechi second, Ayatollah third. So it was Ayatollah that first rejected the whole process. And it was like, nah, that the desperation of some certain people, he didn't mention names, by the way, he said desperation of some certain people who went to town, right, when it was about time to have the to start the primary election. Then they said Ayatollah had stepped down for Atiku, something he didn't actually do. So he said they also denied most of his supporters in so many places from voting for him, and where they voted for him, they just never really counted the right one. That means they're accusing Atiku of using his own structure that he put in place in ADC, all right, to disenfranchise him and his supporters, so to say. And that was yesterday, okay? So he said he would not be attending the declaration, okay? So like APC did, right, after the primary elections all over the country, it is expected that they will do the collation of these results in Abuja. So they set up a place in Abuja where they were expecting the results across the country to be collated, right? And it was meant to be 3 p.m. or so today. Unfortunately, up to this moment, they are yet to announce the results. However, Rotimi Amaechi already took to his Twitter just a moment ago by outrightly rejecting the entire process. Because according to him, it is filled with, let me see if I can still have that statement. Sorry, I'm just giving you a recap before we get fully into who is saying what and how. I'll read it out. This is Amaechi. Amaechi said, I reject the concocted results of the ADC presidential primaries. Following a report of widespread voter disenfranchisement in most parts of the country during the African Democratic Congress ADC presidential primaries yesterday, I unequivocally reject the concocted result being announced. I had initially stated that I would only accept the outcome of the primaries if the process was free, fair, and transparent. And I stand by my word. I will not accept results from a process that does not reflect the values that the ADC had pledged to uphold, to rescue Nigerians from the impunity and gross mismanagement that our country is currently facing in the hands of the ruling party. There is no way that about 80% of members of the party were not allowed to vote, 80%. And you expect me to accept such results? Then what makes us different from the others? The whole idea of the ADC was to give the Nigerian people a platform to amplify the voices of the downtrodden and make Nigeria a better place for everyone, irrespective of backgrounds, ethnicity, or religion. A party that criticizes the ruling APC and INEC for vote buying, rigging, and writing of results cannot be engaged in vote buying, writing of results, and other electoral malpractices that leads to the disenfranchisement of voters who are party members. This is not acceptable. So this is Amaechi in the public right now telling us that this primaries is not credible. In fact, money exchanged hands. It did not give further details, but pretty much he believed they have rigged him out for the potential winner, which is Atiku. I'll give you a fresher, just for those of you who probably just stumbled on this broadcast right now, okay? This was the ADC, what they call it. So this was the ADC primaries, one of the scenarios from yesterday that is believed to have produced Atiku now. But Amaechi just couldn't load the number. This one was in the this one was in the southern part of Nigeria.
2 candidates. One is my candidate.
Go to me, Amaechi, Alessa Ward 1. So if you are for him, step forward and file up to be counted. Start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 80, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 140, 150, 160, 161, 62, 63, 170, 171, 172, 174, 175, 176, 178, 90, 191, 192, 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 230, 231, 233, 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, 239, 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 260, 261, 262, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270, 280, 281, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 288, 289, 90, 291, 292, 300, 301, 302, 303, 350, 351, 352, 353, 304, 305, 500, 551, 581, 560, 570, 580, 590, 591, 592, 560, 561, 562, 563, 580, 600, 601, 602, 603, 630, 640, 660, 661, 668, 700, 701, 703, 704, 1,000, 1,000, 1,001.
What actually went on now? Which camp is this?
This is Ward 1, Alessa, Amaechi. We just did the head count for ADC presidential primaries for Right Honorable Amaechi. We all stood for him.
So what did you score? The total?
1,001.
Yes. Okay, all right.
You can see the mammoth crowd. 1,001.
Free and fair.
Very free and fair.
Our leader is here. Free and fair.
You get that? So those were the Amaechi's guys. So did the Atiku's people also perform their own magic. All right? And that is the result that we produce Atiku. The same result that Amaechi has rejected. So here is what the spokesperson of the ADC, Bolaji Abdullahi, had to say in response to this latest development, because they were all pretending, right, that everything was fine. Okay, the people who are creating problems are the OB and the obedient. They are the ones who just didn't want to participate. People said they have seen everything that this whole ADC thingy, right, was put together for Atiku. It's just that maybe Obi did not allow himself to be used to validate this for Atiku. This would have been the time that they will say, oh, he's so desperate. Or let's say they want to do this their primary yesterday. And Peter B said, no, I'm no longer your member of your party. And he left them maybe 2 days ago. They will say, oh, you know what I mean? But he left them and they said everyone else was cool. Atiku's people, see, Amaechi went on TV to lambast Atiku. Said Atiku is not electable. He said it on TV. They are supposed to be members of the same party. When Amaechi left David Mark's house a few days ago, he went straight to the studio of Arise, where he granted an interview. No, not Arise. I think it's the Daily Trust or something Trust Media, where he granted an interview to say he is the most qualified, he's the youngest. Atiku is old. And at the same time, yes, Atiku has been winning primaries, but has he ever won any election? That's what Amaechi said. He said, has he ever won any election? No. That he is very good at winning primaries, but he's not electable. Baba, Atiku boys were defending Amaechi. They said that's how politics was done. I mean, it's done in America. That in America, look at Donald Trump. That most of the people who are now working for Donald Trump or working with Donald Trump, like Marco Rubio and others, right? Like they were those who said a lot of things about Trump. That's who Atiku is. So whatever Amaechi said about Atiku, that's the spirit of democracy. So I mean, I have been reading all these conversations online. Okay, you know, I've always been like watching and peeping and monitoring this whole back and forth thing in between all these supporters, right? So they defended Amaechi, and they went straight to, everything is always like about OB. So the moment it's there, Amaechi, in fact, you will still see some of the Atiku's boys that are going to try to blame Peter Obi for this Amaechi and the Ayatu stand. According to Ayatu, let me see if I can pick up what he had to say. Right here. Muhammad Ayatu, the other guy, he said, I will not be attending the announcement of the ADC presidential election results today. I am concerned by reports from across the country of widespread vote rigging, some of which I myself observed, and will therefore be taking advice on my next steps. So that means that one is probably considering leaving ADC. Amaechi. So here is what Bolaji Abdullahi had to say. Maybe Amaechi is only just jumping the gun because they haven't even announced the results yet. He's not waiting for you to announce.
Results meaning 11 states and 11 state results have been received. We are still awaiting some other results. We are starting anytime from now. We're going to start, like you said. It will probably run to over several hours. But the major party leaders and major dignitaries are arriving, so we are going to start any moment from now.
Does it bother you and the party leadership? Because Mr. Ayatollah says he's not going to come because he thinks that the process is rigged and there are a lot of irregularities.
Well, I mean, we don't have any evidence. Hello, sorry, we don't have any evidence now to be able to support his position or to deny his position, because, like I said, we've not collated the results. We've not noticed any pattern in the results, and we've not seen enough to be able to establish a pattern or to be able to say this represents evidence in the direction that he is speaking. But we will. I mean, there are processes for addressing such complaints. If there are complaints of irregularities, there are processes for dealing with it within the political party and within the electoral process. But so far, like I said, we don't have enough. We don't know enough to be able to say yes or no to the allegation. Results meaning 11 states and.
So they do not have all the results. So therefore, they can't really say he is right or wrong. I do have some of the results myself. So same Bolaji Abdullahi, this was yesterday, okay? He was reacting to Dumebika Chiku, the other guy who currently parades himself as the candidate of the party, of his own faction of the party, Dumebika Chiku. And then Bolaji Abdullahi also reacted to this APC 11 million vote for Tinubu, 10.99 million, 999 million votes. Okay, here.
We've walked this road before, and I'm really surprised that some of us are still calling those people faction. We've had opportunity to discuss this several times. What makes a faction? Today, if you go to the portal of the Independent National Electoral INEC, who leads the African Democratic Congress, is there any other name there apart from the name of David Mark and Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola? So when you say another faction, sometimes we wonder what you mean by that. There's no faction in the African Democratic Congress. So if some people choose to entertain themselves in one corner and another, how is that? You can't just wake up today and say you're organizing a convention. There are specific processes that you need to go through. There are requirements you need to meet. You need to submit membership register. You need to give INEC statutory notice of the days you are going to do your congresses. You need to write to INECs across the states for them to monitor your congresses. They need to witness the results. And this is happening, this is happening in all the process we have started. So this thing that suddenly sprang up in Abuja yesterday, that you suddenly now you are telling us there is a faction. So we wonder what this means. I mean, so this is not the kind of thing. But anyway, for as far as we are concerned, it's a non-event, and this is the African Democratic Congress primaries. Thank you very much. To add to what the chairman of the primary committee has said, the African Democratic Congress today we are very proud that we are the only party that is conducting a real primary election in this country today. 1,404,000 plus members based on the membership registration that was submitted to INEC, and that is after cleaning up the entire. So we are very clear about this. We are building a political party that is based on certain principles, which is transparency. So this number I've given you, you can go to INEC and you verify it, and you find it exactly like that. So we are not going to start sexing up figures because we want to deceive Nigerians. And what the APC is doing, what the APC will doing will have been amusing and laughable if we didn't know that what they are doing is to set the stage for the rigging of the 2027 election. By claiming that they have 11 million, whatever, 12 million members, what they are doing is to put it in your head to think that, oh, at least that is 11 million votes guaranteed. It's all lies. They should produce a verifiable membership register submitted to INEC. We challenge them that if they indeed claim that they have 12 million members, they should produce the membership register and let Nigerians check whether indeed they have 12 million members. They don't have 12 million members, it's all lies.
So APC said they have 12 million members. That PDP have 2.4 million. That ADC, sorry, Labour Party has 1.2 million. And ADC have, ADC have 1 million or people, 1.2 million or something too. It's crazy, right? Let me hear from the chairman. Listen to their chairman, APC chairman.
People can mimic counting at any point. People can do their drama, but I work with data.
Yes, that is true, now. And that's a good thing.
So if there was a mimic counting or a drama that took place,
it didn't affect the data that
you
have.
Yes. So
that's what
I'm interested in, what was turned in as total vote that was
in the final analysis.
Final analysis.
Right. Okay.
Because there are people make dramas, people make jokes, people make fun.
But what about the
centers.
Overall figures?
Overall,
should we believe that the president got more than 11?
No.
Got nearly 11 million votes.
Now, yes, you see, this is what we have.
Right.
We have about 12.9 million registered voters.
Right.
That we submitted to INEC. Let me give you data. Let me give you data for you. AP submitted 12.9 million registered voters. PDP submitted 2.4 million registered voters. The ADC submitted 1.6 million registered voters. Labour Party submitted 1.3 million registered voters. NDC submitted 700,000 registered members. So these are the data. If you put all these political parties together, they don't add up to APC's registered members. All the political parties that this number I've counted, they're not up to the number that APC registered. That's number one.
But you've been in power since 2015.
Wait and listen. But PDP has been in power. We came in 2013.
Yeah, but PDP lost power. And that's why I was talking about the orbit of power. People gravitate to power in this country. It's as simple as that.
No.
It's not because you're doing anything spectacular.
It is. But listen to the data. Listen to the data. People can mimic.
So you are cooked already, Nigerians. You are cooked, okay? Just know that. Now, APC believes that even if you combine all the registered members of all of the political parties in Nigeria together, they are not even up to half of the total registered members of APC. Now, we are now talking about number for number. When they are doing this, they are 1, 10, 50, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 counting, right? He called it, maybe people were just doing drama at the polling center and the rest of that. So ADC did their own too. So it was like number for number. 1, 2, 3, counting stupidly, okay? But APC are those who believe in their own number more than anything. If you want them to generate all these fictitious names and all that for you, including numbers and all, they will generate them for you. They are so good with it, so well, that the other opposition parties, they are not really that good when it comes to how to infuse fake figures into a process or into a system, that then the system will actually swallow it, validate it, legitimize it, and then it will turn to whatever they want it to turn to. Sort of. 12.9 million, so 11 million voted in their primaries. You get? And these are their members. So by your 2027 arrangement, you probably will have maybe 25 million voters. And they will tell you, look at the numbers. Anyway, here, are some of the results that have been in already from the ADC primaries. So you have this Plateau State. They said Atiku scored over 47,000 compared to the result. In fact, the lowest result from Tinubu's results in ADC was from Anambra State, and it was actually like maybe 53,000 or something. That's the lowest from all the numbers recorded for during Tinubu's primary. Okay, but here is Atiku, and here is another one. I think this one is Imo State. In Imo State, Amaechi's group, they declared Amaechi winner, Atiku second. Atiku's group, they declared Atiku winner, Amaechi second. That's in Imo State. Here, Kano. In Kano, Tinubu in APC scored 500,000. They recorded 155,000 for Atiku. Here is another one. Osun State. There is something about this Osun as well that I want to tell you, okay? So it is said that Atiku is not planning to pick Amaechi as his running mate. After this whole thing, right? He's not planning to pick Amaechi, he's planning to pick a Yoruba man. Now, rumor, it is not confirmed though, sure you get. So even if he's expected to pick Amaechi, but he's not planning to pick Amaechi. So their plan, Atiku's plan is this. Tinubu is contesting. Peter Obi is contesting. And Atiku is contesting. So if all other candidates are from the south, Atiku will be the only one from the north. Sowore is from the south, Adebayo is from the south, the majority of them are from the south. So all Atiku will need that he is banking on is that in northern Nigeria, they will vote for him, where he is going to probably win northwest, northeast, and north central. Hear it with Tinubu. But when it comes to the south, he only needs maybe just 1 or 2 states. And their plan is Imo State and Osun State. And then try to see if they can get any extra number wherever elsewhere. Because Jonathan is also being like, they cleared him today that he has the right to contest. So whereby if he should go ahead by that, right? So definitely it is going to be Atiku from the northern Nigeria, only Atiku from northern Nigeria. That's their own arrangement. All right. So let's continue with their results. Still have here. There is another one. I think yeah, they said that that Yoruba man is likely going to be Raufu Aregbeshola. That's Rauf Aregbemugbubaba Kabiru. All right. And Atiku has never actually failed to win Osun. Even last time he won Osun as well in your 2023 charade as well. So Gombe, Atiku is a winner there. Which one? Okay, this one is Kano, sorry. This is another one. Zamfara. So Atiku is also declared the winner there. So these are the results that Amaechi is getting, and believe that it's all been manipulated. Now, what this shows is that by the time Atiku is declared winner, except Amaechi kind of like make a U-turn to say, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. That is the only saving grace. But if Amaechi should push it further, that simply means the coalition will further break apart. And the purpose of the coalition in the first place will finally be fulfilled, which is to get Atiku on the ballot and possibly get him into the asshole rock next year. So the other parts, or the others who are very much a part of that, or formerly part of the coalition, that's Peter Obi in NDC. He was in South Africa a couple of days ago. So he got back to Nigeria yesterday, and he attended an event put together by the NDC, you know, NDC. So the NDC guys, those ones were like with this peace sign. And it was an event put together for the NDC aspirants, those who are going to eventually become their candidates. All right. So they are all still aspirants right now. We don't know how they're going to do their own primaries or consensus or whatever. Okay. But it was also very much like a summit, you know, to an orientation kind of like evening. It's called a dinner. So it was the moment for their leader, and their leader, which is Sowore Dixon, to lecture them by reminding them that, listen, this NDC is not an SPVO, special purpose vehicle. You cannot use this NDC to now win elections and then you take blah, blah, blah to another party. They agreed that, no, we are not going to do that. But Peter Obi himself also addressed them as well. So I'm going to take you to that now. You ready? Here, the NDC dinner, dinner for the contestants in their own party. They are among those, they're actually those people are waiting for right now. How they are going to turn around and possibly turn the momentum to their own kind of like a gain. Sowore Dixon.
We're not just building a political platform that people will use to win elections and later jump and leave. Did you hear me say that? Let me repeat because it's important. The NDC is not a special purpose vehicle for any human being. No matter how big, no matter how small. We are building together a political party that will stand the test of time. We are building together a monumental movement that will outlast all of us. I often liken it to parties like the AAC. I liken it even to the Chinese Communist Party. I liken it to the parties even in Ghana, and the parties in Europe, the parties in the Americas. We want to build a party of principles, a party with a clear ideology of service, a party that is not a one-man show. And so, like you all, and like me, we believe all of you are aspirants, from presidential aspirants to governorship aspirants, to National Assembly and State Assembly. You are not in NDC as birds of passage. You are in the NDC to stay and to build and to nurture. Several years down the line, we still want to meet ourselves. Whether things go well for you in the immediate or not, be dedicated to the survival of the NDC. I know because of the issues and the time constraint, like I said, I cannot warranty that processes that the party will unfold will be completely foolproof, as much as we would have loved to be. We want to be a democratic movement where a child of nobody, you don't know, but you see the end and its leadership will be fair to you and give you a fair chance. That's why the Obamas and so on rose to be who they are, the Democratic Party. And in the NDC, what we are trying to be, you don't need to know me. You don't need to know His Excellency Okute. We are not just building a political platform that people will use to win elections and later jump and leave. Did you hear me say that? Let me repeat because it's important.
Well, we shall see. It's the only time that we tell Abi. So Peter Obi himself, that also returned from South Africa, addressed them. And he was talking about the Nigerians he met in South Africa. Majority of them who are facing this xenophobic attack or this xenophobia in South Africa. Then he said, while he was speaking to some of them, he asked them that why didn't they just like go back to Nigeria? And a few of them said they would rather actually die in South Africa than return to Nigeria because it's worse in Nigeria. So therefore, he charged his supporters and these aspirants themselves that even if you don't make it, if you do not get the tickets whatsoever, right? Just make sure you work for the party and those who got the tickets to ensure that they say rescue Nigeria, because Nigeria must work. It's a usual, what do you call it, talking point. Nigeria must work in our lifetime so that people who are facing different discriminations all over the world can actually return back to Nigeria and call it their country. Well, here is Peter Obi.
We are wondering where we put this Amaechi. For tonight, our party chairman and our very good chairman, you are recognized, the secretary, and all the members of NDC that are here present, you are duly recognized. The senators that are here, the National Assembly members, our elder, respected leader, Engineer Buba Gladima. Let me stand on all the existing protocols. Mine will be simple and very short because I didn't have said all that it needs to be said. But I need to express mine in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 for me is gratitude. Gratitude to Almighty God that made it possible for all of us to gather this night. Number 2 is gratitude to all of you who have decided to join this party within this short period of the party existence. There were a lot of things said about the party, but we all decided to be members of this family because of the deed and his team. So I thank you sincerely. And I thank you, number 3, for your sacrifice. It is not easy for what you're doing to sacrifice for this party. Express your intention to run for election to serve your different constituencies. I know how difficult, like the leader has said, it is for our nation today for people to say, oh, we are going to be part of this process, we're going to do this. I joined the leader this evening to assure you that your sacrifice will not be in vain. Yes, by the time we finish, so many people will think, oh, they were not successful. But I'll tell you, we've taken note of everybody who expressed intention to run. And it's very important time that discussing this. I said it's very important that we start rewarding people who have worked so hard in this country, who have sacrificed. And you will see it happen. Because this is the only way we can build a country. It is very, very important. All of us will not succeed. All of us will not be selected. All of us will not be winners. But I assure you that it is time we start recognizing losers who have worked so hard. So please do not think that if I'm not the person, that is the end of it. It is not the end. It is the ending of the beginning. Because we will begin and work hard for our country. It is important at this stage that all of us are for their country. And I beg you to do that faithfully. I just come back yesterday night from South Africa. You know what Nigerians are going through in South Africa. And so many other African countries. And I took time to sit down with 3 ministers who are leaders of their own parties to plead them about how things can work within South Africa and other African nationals. And we had a very fruitful talk and everything. Took time to go and see people like Amaechi to thank him for standing for our people at difficult time. Took time to go around and see what our people are suffering. And then in the end, I addressed Nigerians. And I said to them, if we had things working in our country the way it should be, most of you will be here. We asked them to come back. If you don't know, we provided facility for them to come back. But most of them told me they would rather die there than come back because it's the same thing. It's even worse at home. That shouldn't be Nigeria. Nigeria played a role in security. But our children cannot go on like this. We have a country. This country must work. People can no longer take us for granted. I was in South Africa. They have over 40,000 megawatts of electricity. And yet people are complaining they have no power. When we have 4,000, and we're not complaining. And they're just 60 million, and we're 230 million with 4,000 megawatts, and we're not complaining. If you don't want to complain, this is time for us to come out and complain. If you cannot serve, please leave. We don't want to let people again to give us an excuse or remind us what they saw when they got in there. No. What I'm seeing, I can change. And that is what I want to the office. I'm not looking for it to give excuses. We don't want to hire people who will give us the excuse again. The time of excuse has passed. If you cannot walk now, go home. Let the time home. It's a home for people who have the competence, the capacity, the compassion, commitment, and character to live. If we don't have it, go home. That's where we are. But tonight is to beg you for a sacrifice. If they don't choose you, if you don't want
to. So, Peter Obi, I've started, speaking it tough, like talking tough. For those of you who probably take your time to listen to him, okay? So, my lady, Davina, thank you for that. And say me well to the family, every one of them. Thanks so much, ma'am. So, going forward, Peter Obi is practically charging his base to let them know that you might be underrated. Like, people will probably feel like you are just irrelevant and all that. But there is going to be a time that they won't say that again. If, they all remain united in that sense. So, and at the same time promising them that their 2027 election cannot be rigged. I have no idea where he's actually getting that from. But yeah, he told them. And he told Tinubu to stop complaining and go back home or go to retirement home, go somewhere. Okay? And they will no longer allow them to take Nigerians for granted. Kind of like a political tough talk. I've been a tough political talk. Here is the other part.
But the rest assured will be available. Bank also believe that a child of nobody will be somebody. that is my belief. We want a child of nobody to be somebody without knowing anybody. But we must sacrifice for our dear country. Let's for once build a nation. Let's for once build a place where Nigerians will say they are at war. The entire Ukraine is about 600,000 square kilometers. The entire northern Nigeria, 750,000 square kilometers. Northern Nigeria is at least 25% bigger than Ukraine. But they give us grain even when they are at war. And we are not at war. These are things we must stop. Production. We must change this country because it's a productive country. It's a country that must work for all of us. It's a country that must give jobs to every Nigerian. The Nigerian youth is energetic. We will campaign. We will go there everywhere and call people and come out and campaign. For those who want to rule Nigeria for the next 4 years, they must give us reason to vote for them. It's no longer going to be. Don't be deterred about their threat to the election. This time, our vote will count. Our vote will count. If it doesn't count, those who refuse to count it will count it. Because we cannot go on like this. We have a country. This country must work. People can no longer take us for granted. I was in South Africa. There are over 40,000 acres of electricity. Are complaining they have no power when we have 4,000 and we are not complaining. And they just 6 million and we are 200 and we are not complaining. If you don't want to complain, this is time for us to come out and complain. If you cannot serve, please leave. We don't want to elect people again to give us an excuse or remind us what they saw when they got in there. No. What I'm seeing, I can change. And that is what I want the office. I'm not looking for it to give excuses. We don't want to hire people who will give us the excuse again. The time of the excuse has passed. If you cannot vote.
So Obi, the time for excuses have passed. They do not want to allow anybody to give them excuses anymore. All right. We are going to see how this whole thing is going to play out eventually. Sure you get. As we are also waiting for the NDC, ADC, Atiku's guys, to announce Atiku as the winner and see how Amaechi and the others are going to take it and what's going to happen next. Everybody will now wait for Peter Obi. You know, Peter Obi's vote seems to have been so kind of like a straightforward now. You know what I mean? He is their candidate. Kwakwanso is going to be his running mate. So the two of them are those who are going to lead the remaining 1,400 other contestants. Yeah, across the country. Is that 1,400? Is it not 2,400 plus State House of Assembly? I mean, no. Anyway, I'm going to take this call. Then after this, we are going to go to Abuja. In fact, we are going to remain in Abuja, where Sowore today stepped down as the national chairman of the AAC. And immediately, he was also very much elected as the consensus presidential candidate of the party for 2027. We're going to go to that one next. All right? But here is a caller. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun. How are you?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
I'm good, sir. This is Victor from Houston, Texas.
How are you doing today, Baba? Victor.
Baba, I did. Maiyegun, I'm watching, and I'm just laughing. You are doing a lot, and it's just funny because there's nothing you can do, Maiyegun. There's nothing you can do.
I want to make
if
it.
Like,
I want to make it as interesting as possible, so that those who find their time to sit down and even listen can get bored. You know.
But Maiyegun, there's nobody that will listen to you. Nobody. Nobody. See, the people you are speaking with, I want you to understand that those are the people that you saw on that queue. You see that line? All of them queue. You see that guy that is counting those people on that primary line. That guy na adults. That guy na husband. That guy na uncle. That guy na elder for church. That guy na pastor, na father. And is counting from 10 to 500. And people, they the queue. You see people, those people you have on the queue, they were smiling. Those people are not 5-year-old. They are not 4-year-old. Those are adults. And the people when they talk to that, you they wala yourself. See, those are the people. I keep telling people that, see, if this might sound funny, but the best of Nigerians, the people that still have a little bit of sympathy on Nigerians, those are the people in government, whether you like it or not. You see those people outside. Maiyegun, those people are wicked. Those people outside are bad. They are wicked than the people you have in government right now. Those people outside, if you give them chance, oh my God, those are the guys counting from 100 to 1,000. Those are the guys.
They have always been those they have been using. Some of them will tell you that they have been doing it for 20 years. They have been part of this whole political thing for 25 years. And then you're like, you've never thought about your choices in life.
But I see the professor now. The professor for university that they use the rig election.
No doubt.
The NYSC boy, listening to you Maiyegun every day. Now the NYSC guy that they use to rig election. So what are we talking about? So who are the people you are talking to? The people you are talking to are worse. That's what I'm trying to get you understand. Just talk, we just catch vibe.
Bad leadership. We should always very much.
The followers.
We must remember that the followership actually created the bad leadership.
Oh, now you are talking. So the followers, those followers, Baba.
We are done for.
Baba, you don't finish now. We just a cash cruise. This is a content create. They just a great skit for us. There's nothing we can do about that country.
So Nigeria is the content creation, whatever country, right?
But yes, now. But you don't understand. Maiyegun, see Kenneth. Kenneth that was shouting Obi last election. See Kenneth today now.
He did with
Kenneth today. He did with Atiku. They talk down. Any opportunity Kenneth gets, they bring Obi down steady. Some people will won't fight for that. Now the people, ADC, they say they are better than APC. Look at what they are doing now. Look at what the ADC is doing now. Even inside that NDC, all this Peter for Nigeria, Mama P, all those clowns, Baba, give them chance. They are worst. I'm telling you. Give them chance.
Saw Okada man, Baba. Okay, you know something, right? Even if a lot of people disagree with you. Now, let me, just for the sake of our viewers, okay? Let's say if some people actually disagree with you. I know it's not like that, it's this or that. But they can't actually win you that argument. They can't win the argument with you. You know what I mean? Somebody who is currently an House of Representative member benefited from this wave. He was a guy from the streets. He did not spend a dime. And he found himself in the National Assembly. A year after that, he joined the same party that turned him to Okada rider, a graduate. Somebody who was a graduate. He became Okada rider, chairman of Okada Association. From there, they said, what is your name? Put your name in this form, Labour Party form. That's how he became House of Representative member. Just like that.
Where is the guy? Where is he now?
Where is he now? He crossed to APC. And he went back to apologize for it was too late.
Maiyegun, I'm telling you that Okada rider guy, before that guy won that election, he will be fighting. Oh, we won't be
That's
the
all
best
I'm
of
saying.
Nigeria.
That is what I am saying now. You know me and you right now. You see me and you right now. We probably are good people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But
those guys.
Yeah, but by the time you are actually like a part of that rotten system in that contraption, there are some bad things that we see now that will be like, that's a bad thing to do. But when you are there, you don't see it like that because you're going to be benefiting from it.
You don't see it like that. Look at rivers. Look at rivers. You want to tell me that there's nobody? Okay, so we can control the whole rivers. And there's nobody. Rivers cannot stand for themselves. River State people cannot stand and say enough is enough. They are still supporting Wiki. And these are the people that say they want a better Nigeria. There's nothing. Baba, I don't finish. Just work in Nigeria, make money, take care of your family, and that's it. The government, the Nigeria economy is a political economy.
At the end of the day, that is going to work against all of us, even if you make that money. Where are you going to live?
But what can we do now? Okay, Maiyegun, you don't know that you don't know that corruption. Corruption is actually what is holding Nigeria economy down.
It is
corruption.
Yes.
If you remove corruption in Nigeria right now, the economy will collapse. That Nigeria economy will collapse. If you remove corruption, that is the rotten. How rotten that country is. Normal 8 to 5. Normal salary 8 to 5. The whole Nigeria economy down. Now corruption, the whole them down. If you do,
hold them down. Maybe you said hold them together because when you say hold them down, I believe that corruption is holding Nigeria down, where Nigeria is not progressing. Yes, but you said if they remove corruption, the country will collapse. That means corruption is holding it together.
That's not what I'm saying is the economy of Nigeria. I think Nigeria see day to day. Say economy day. So people see the economy is moving. I'm telling you that it's the corruption money that is keeping it alive.
Right.
Baba, if you remove that corruption money for the economy,
a lot of people go jail.
Baba, if you remove that economy, Baba, if you remove that economy money for Nigeria, before Nigeria go stable, it go take. Nobody is spending their normal salary on economy for Nigeria. Not the normal 20,000 they collect for months, they spend for the whole month now. You are going to the office and you are looking at how you can steal from the office. So the stealing you are stealing from your small place, that is what is boosting the economy. Nobody is living on their basic salary. Nobody.
From left, right, and center.
Abana thief now. I just enjoy you now.
Thank you so much because you just got me thinking right now. The way you presented it got me thinking like, I'm gonna. I felt like I've never heard that before. And it was so reasonable that you actually got me like, if they remove, we want corruption to leave Nigeria. If we remove corruption, Nigeria will scatter. The economy will collapse because what is keeping most of it together is basically corruption. And it sounds so real because almost every facet of that place.
Bible, civil servant, how much is their salary? How much is their salary? Are they living on their salary? The answer is no. Nobody in Nigeria, maybe like 10% of Nigeria is actually living with their salary. You understand?
Like
every
legit.
other, over 90%
salary, like earning their money legitimately.
Legit. That's the word, legit. Every
because
other,
you see even those who are doing businesses, we get to see that, man. Anyway, I'll leave it at that because I kind of thought, deep gone. So it would begin to make it, you begin to feel like, say, it's true.
Na corruption economy, na in the run Nigeria. Na corruption economy.
You buy land.
If you remove
you
that
buy land now,
corruption
you want
today,
build house. Talk go come, you have to pay them. If you make it any first loss, you have to pay them, and that's what those ones are living on.
Yes, now
that's the economy they created.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody has created the economy in their own way. No law, no nothing. Everybody created their own little fiefdom.
Yes. Look at all the houses in Lekki now. Look at all those houses in Lekki. 500 million naira house. Who are the people buying it? How many percentage of Nigeria can afford that? These are the corruption. That's what is holding it down. All the companies for Nigeria now, everybody they scam everybody. That is the corruption. Everybody is scamming this one. Tip from here. failure, thief year. That is what is holding the Nigerian economy
declaring
together.
profit by just removing SMS charges from people's bank accounts. And they are declaring trillions of naira profits by just removing SMS money and other charges, the bank charges alone. No, banks are declaring trillions of naira profits. They are not actually giving loans to to businesses or giving loans to manufacturing businesses and all that. No, they just
election is coming. Election is coming. Election is coming next month. NYSC students, lecturers, professors, those are the guys that will use
fighting for
election. Those guys are listening to you right now. They are watching you right now. They are waiting for their own jackpot next year election. That is where they will make their own money, and some people will break through from that election.
Victor, tomorrow is Ilea, from what I heard, right? And today, a local government chairman in Lagos, bought some rams, and they had to go and give INEC officials in that local government in Lagos. I will not disclose the name of the place, but they probably are watching too. So they are giving them rams right now. Every local government in Lagos, right? Each local government chairman or chair lady has been mandated to make that provision. But here is the thing. They gave about 10 or thereabout of them 6 rams. Now they can't share it one. These are INEC officials. They're not APC members. So you get that now? So because they couldn't share it one by one, they decided to sell the 6 and share the money. That one is today. That one is today, right now. So you might receive the economy tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the economy right now. That's the economy I'm talking about.
That's the corruption economy.
That's what is holding Nigeria. That's what is holding our economy down. That's what is holding our economy together. Say we are still surviving. I want to Dalukonsi. Those are the things holding
they are selling each ram for 350,000 naira. So they want to sell 6 and then share the money among 10 of them. The INEC officials in this local government in Lagos.
Yes, they are watching you.
They are watching.
Election next year. Next year election, these are the guys that will rig election. And these are the guys that are saying, we want a better Nigeria. We want a better, is a lie. Give them chance. Give them chance. Biden, they are worse than Tinubu. They are worse than Atiku. They are worse than Amaechi. They are worse than Wiki. The people outside trying to come in, Maiyegun, they are dangerous.
So, Victor, thank you very much for that. Okay, let us go to the AAC primaries. So today, Amaechi Sowore and his party organized their own party primaries, which is especially the presidential primaries. So they didn't have to do much because it is a small party, and they are not deep pocketed. You know what I mean? They do not have enough resources to actually really do what normal parties are doing, but still, right? They are doing their own in the most legitimate way they know. So Amaechi Sowore is the national chairman of this AAC, African Action Congress. And today, Amaechi Sowore emerged as the presidential candidate of the same AAC after the party primaries in Abuja. So here are a few of the things you need to see before Sowore stepped down as their chairman, and then he became a candidate for 2027 from the AAC Center in Abuja.
Revolution! 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 We want to do something before we go. Revolution! 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 We want to do something before we go. Revolution! Revolution! Now!
Sorry for that poor audio, by the way. I tried my best to see if I could get it out better than that, but I couldn't. So sorry for that. So Sowore then kind of like stepped down as the AAC national chairman. So that, and at that spot, I think they appointed another chairman of the party, while Sowore became their consensus presidential candidate for 2027. That's spot where he actually stepped down.
He officially stepped down as the chairman of the Green Party. And according to the constitution of the party, Green Party, I'm handing over officially the duties of the chairman of the party to Pastor Charade. Pastor will steer the party to victory in 2027. Let me, before saying anything at all, appreciate the special person in the house. And that's the DJ. Let's give it a round of applause for the DJ. Yes, the DJ has done marvelously well. And DJ, we plan to create an office for you in our government.
DJ in the office. Then he went on to say this.
They are the bitter fruits of the disease tree we call the country, Nigeria. The root cause is the monopolization of state resources. When a few people take everything and leave millions of energetic people without jobs, hope, and a future, they become easy recruits for forces of destruction. That is where our insecurity came from. Don't let anybody lie to you. Whether it is violence in the north, agitations in the south, kidnapping on our highways, often proudly displayed now on social media, these are direct consequences of a system that has produced one of the highest levels of inequality on earth. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. We cannot expect anything different. People now find the AK-47 economy more attractive because their government has made them feel worthless in the real economy, where officials take billions and go unpunished in this country. These corporate criminals are our real enemies. They want us to believe that they are untouchable oligarchs, holding our lives and economy by the jugular. What we are witnessing is a dangerous shift from state capture to outright private capture, where a few individuals dictate fuel prices, cement prices, food prices, while keeping the government on its knees. In fact, these individuals have become the government. They are the ones governing the country. When a private businessman can hold an entire nation hostage over the fuel price, that is no longer capitalism, it is eco-terrorism. Yet the EFCC, we've never got those people. This same applies to cement prices that have made housing unaffordable for the poor, while owners smile to the bank announcing massive profits every year. This pattern repeats itself in telecommunication sector. You know about MTN, right? Yes, sir. Airtel and all the evil tells in this country. While their owners smile to the bank announcing massive profits, the telecommunication cartels take billions for providing some of the most terrible services to our people. In our government, there will be no monopolies. We break them up and nationalize strategic sectors so that all Nigerians can benefit, not just a few families. Comrades, fellow Nigerians, the economic pain we feel today is a policy choice. Do not be deceived by those who say only God can solve our problems. God had no hands in our problem. The cruel decision to remove fuel subsidy was not done by God. It was done by Bola Tinubu, who is evil, by the way. Without any palliative measures, our local refinery or refining capacity was taken away, even though we had invested billions in them under the Buhari regime, which is also an APC regime. And so many of these are dictated to us by the World Bank and the IMF.
Sowore. So that was him giving his own speech, and not just that, what he would do if he gains power, if he becomes your president. And he's very confident that forget about all the razzmatazz, the glamour, and all these vote buying and these money bags. In a free and fair election, Tinubu cannot defeat them. He said that.
There is no way Tinubu can defeat us. Let me put it the third way. That after we win, the revolution has just started. After we win, the revolutionary leadership has just started. And having said that, I welcome all of you. There is no way.
Sowore. And then when they decided to dress him as a revolutionist or a revolutionary person, right? This also happened.
Our candidate, and by God grace, all of 2027, we shall have them victorious in all their seats in Jesus' name.
So, that aside, let's go to Accord. And this time, it's in Oyo State where different drama has been kind of like taking place. So they have Oriyomi Hamzat. You know, Oriyomi has been like moving like this massive wave in Oyo State as well. He wants to be the governor for Oyo State under the Accord party. But surprisingly, when they did their own primaries, right, there were this confusion where they have their own two groups too. So there is a group that conducted their own primary elections, right? And they produced a man called Gudu Gudu. Then there's another faction, again, which also produced Oriyomi Hamzat. But today, it's been said that, in fact, Oriyomi Hamzat, you know him now, right? Yeah, so he's going to be the Accord Party governorship candidate in Oyo State. But that may change. But until then, you should see the drama, how that played out. The first part of this video is the first faction. The second part of the video is the second faction. Gudu Gudu versus Oriyomi Hamzat. Put it that way.
For each aspirant in all the 3 local governments. Aspirant 1, Oriyomi Hamzat, scored 18,716. 18716. Aspirant Usari Olakule scored 29,427 votes. Aspirant Fatai Oshi scored 11,922. Total number of accredited voters 60,096. Total number of accredited voters 60,096. Total number of valid votes 60,065. Total number of invalid votes 031. The winner of a 4th primary election for the gubernatorial is Busari Olakule Maru.
And the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, I hereby declare and return Dr. Alhaji Hamzat Oriyomi Hamzat. Of our great party accord. Here with me, is it happened? I mean, the NDC. And you know, accord is the winning team. Accord is #1 in the ballot paper. In the day of election, they don't need to start counting from top to bottom. The only thing they will do, they will just go to #1. We used to call in Yoruba Ayoka Abi. The first one in the ballot paper, you just complete your own, whatever and go. So I hereby forward the certificate, the clearance certificate, to Dr. Abdulrahman Oriyomi Hamzat. Sorry, because we know
So Biere Oriyomi Hamzat may become the Otedola in Oyo State, as Seyi Makinde is battling between PDP and APM. So we currently believe that the PDP is controlled by Wike, because it is with the Wike's group that INEC recognizes, so I mean recognized, by the way. And Makinde already told his own supporters to go and pick up the APM form. So he himself, Makinde, is running under APM, but he is still a member of PDP. Just that the PDP that he is member of is not the one that is legit up there, based on the RNG up there, right? So then the APC divided as well, where Adelabu Penkelemes seems to have been messed up already because of the inner, because they say inside APC, there's another APC inside this APC. So they did that to Adelabu Penkelemes. They messed him up. So therefore, he is likely going to want a revenge. So to make sure that Sharafa Ali also failed in the election proper. So make this Otsinoko come favor Oriyomi Hamzat, the guy that seemed to have massive pull in the Badon, the other part of the Oyo State, kind of. So I don't know about other part, the northern part of Oyo State too, but it's quite massive. So like I said, he could build an alliance that will end up having him as your governor in Oyo State. Never say never. All right, I'm just saying. But he's pushed it to the point that for now, he's the candidate of the party in Oyo. Do you remember Issa Pandemic? Issa Patantami? Your former Minister of Communication. That's Issa Pandemic. He's a member of APC. Egbekegbe. He was a member of Bokwari's cabinet. All right. He was the guy who was praying to Allah in 2014. PDP, army, PDP. He was unleashing what they call the fatwa, but it's not on the people. This time it was on the PDP. So fatwa is that PDP was destined to die and Allah should kill PDP. Fast forward to 2026. 12 years after that, he is now a member of PDP. In fact, they said they have given him the PDP governorship ticket for his own state. This was Issa Pandemic, a Boko Haram imam, as far back as 2024. And then later became a minister in Nigeria. And under him, the terrorists are able to communicate undetected, while citizens who openly criticized the government ended up in the gallows. So this was this Boko Haram sympathizer in 2014 praying for the APC to win, to come to power, and PDP should be destroyed. But that has changed now.
اللهم عليك بPDP وسائر الجمعيات الكافرة. 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 اللهم من كان فيهم خير نسألك هدايتهم، ومن كان غير ذلك فيه. اللهم عليك بPDP.
PDP, army. You think I was making it up, right? When I speak about Issa Pandemic. Yeah, do you think I actually made all of that up? No, I didn't make it up. I never made things up. I may say things that will crack you up in a way that they may just sound funny. And maybe it's just like a joke, but they are not jokes. Pay attention. This guy was like a Dishekau that didn't end up in the bush. It was a Shekau that had a mosque. I think it's not Gumbi. He's a preacher. He had all this. I mean, you know that what Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is doing. That's what he was doing too. So he believed then that PDP government under Jonathan was killing loyal Muslims in northern part of Nigeria by killing the Boko Haram terrorists. They boldly accused Jonathan of killing the Muslims. These were the guys. So it was heavy. Jonathan was probably going to witness a civil war if he didn't leave that power for them in 2015. He's one of them. So somehow he's been benched for a very long time. Unfortunately, he tried and attempted to want to become a governor. Again, like unfortunately, the governor of the state has his own anointed candidate. And the anointed candidate, the consensus, defeated him, and boom, Issa Pandemic packed his bag straight up to PDP.
Who is now escorted by his supporters, Yorubas.
If they explain Nigeria to you and you understand it right away, there's a chance, and then you are not mad. There's a chance that you are already mad, but you don't know, like really mad. Here you get now, so it's unexplainable. I have a caller, and I think this is a charm. Is a charm? Hello. Okay. I don't think the line is quite working, so maybe we have to try it again. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Yes,
right.
I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
I can hear you.
Brilliant.
So I just intended to listen today, but sorry. First of all, I hope you're doing well. I mean, well, I'm just confused.
I know, I'm very well. I mean, it's confusing because I was wondering maybe it was the network, or you are just like, okay, you weren't expecting me to pick it at the time I picked it or something, but you are connected anyway. So how are you?
Yeah, so I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Well, I'm surviving, you know. Thanks so much for asking.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're surviving. I think I'm calling because I'm just, like listening to your podcast and everything, and just thinking to myself, the guy that said that if they remove corruption, that corruption is what fuels the Nigerian economy, is how people live. I'm confused. I'm really confused, about these people people like that, people that think like that. I'm sorry. And this is not on him. Maybe that's what he believes. Maybe that's what he knows, or he has decided within himself that
people who have actually
corruption
made up their. You see, sometimes, right, Charm, when you look at Nigeria's situation, right, it can be a little bit. In fact, not even a little bit. It can be most of the time so draining, exhausting, and sometimes the best you can do is just to give up. And there are many people in that category. When they look at Nigeria in that deeper form, they just feel like it is an hopeless situation. Do you get what I mean? And that's what he was driving at, to say, though we want a just society, a functional one, without corruption to control things. But when you look at Nigeria, it is actually that corruption that is holding the fabric of the country together. And if you remove it, number one, you're likely going to see a lot of people go to jail. A lot of businesses will die. And that's the end of Nigeria. That's the way he saw it, or he sees it. So you shouldn't be confused. That's the way I actually see it myself, like the way he was presenting. Okay, that's the way I see what he was presenting, to say the situation is so hopeless. Everybody is so, like when you look at the followers, right? They are even more vicious than those who are in government. So simply saying those in government are just the replica of those they are leading. But we can't all see it.
There's this philosophical question that people normally ask, that which one came first, the chicken or the egg?
Which one?
Is it the people that are bad, or is it yes, which one came first?
Well,
I
think people say no, it is the chicken that comes first before the egg. I don't understand. No, it's the egg well, it is the chicken that laid the egg, so the chicken comes first, then the egg. But anyway, go to your own presentation, your own disagreement with that.
So the point I want to make is, is it the leadership that is bad, or is it the people? Is it people that are bad, or is it the leaders that are bad? If you say it's the people that are bad, right, and the leaders are good, it should be if the leaders are good and they make the right laws and create just systems and everything, those people will have to toe the line. They will have to follow the system.
Yeah.
Thereby making good citizens, forcing the citizens who, you say ordinarily are not good. But because you have leaders who make a just society, they are forced to conform to that just society.
Because it is their responsibility
to
build a just society. I'm following you. I'm going to agree with you.
To build a just society, right? So that anyone who decides not to partake of that just society ends up in the place where the people who have decided that they want to have a just society will go to either prison or jail or whatever. But you cannot partake of this just society. That's
what makes a just society.
Yes. Okay. So sometimes when people come and say things like, "Oh, corruption rules is the fabric of the economy, or is how the economy," I wonder if they actually ask themselves deep questions. Imagine that we were this corrupt prior to colonization, prior to the so-called, meeting of the West and the Africans, and we were this corrupt and we were this terrible. Would this the way the Nigeria is, or the people within that geographical expression, would we have endured? Wouldn't we have died out? Wouldn't we have killed each other by now? With this nonsense that we're doing?
If it's always been like this, definitely maybe so many of us would not be here now. Okay.
We will not be here because the way Nigeria is at the moment, right, is not sustainable. And that's why when people say to you that something is going to happen, it's because the way we are, the way this corruption is, the way grown men who are supposed to be leaders, who are supposed to be fathers, grandfathers, are committing, atrocities in broad daylight. They don't even care that they are being filmed.
No.
It's not sustainable. You can't continue to do that. At some point, people are going to say enough is enough.
Yeah, but the people are those who are being, what some people are saying is that in a society where majority seem to agree with the abnormalities, and then minority are those who are not comfortable. So the majority have their way, and they are the enablers of those in government. The moment you are trying to say this is wrong, you're going to see another 10 Nigerians that are going to tell you that is that the first, I mean, is that a new thing? Is that the first time? Did it just start? You get what I mean? Like, they enable them, and they are always ready to defend them. So the point then is that if there are good ones, if there are Nigerians who really are not comfortable with this, and they are in the majority, they should have been enough to, you know what I mean, like to stage any form of a revolution or a protest, enough to force the hand of these guys.
Enough to fight the system.
Do you get what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but
yeah. Because we have our people who are willing and ready to make sure that all these decent voices are drowned. They are comfortable when these outspoken people are harassed, arrested, and even jailed. So those who stand up to fight are silenced. And why? Because majority of the same victims, Nigerians, somehow support the rot. And I think that's where he was coming from.
I
because they exist now, Charm. I mean, if you think about it, right, they do exist. You and I are here today. You use social media very well. You see how Nigerians are tackling themselves, like with all energy. Sometimes you'll be like, are they paying you guys to even be doing all of this? Yeah.
Well, you'll be surprised. There are people that are being paid. I know they do actually, do these things. I think I just live in, maybe I'm living in my head, because I just feel like, you know what? Yeah, because maybe I'm the only one thinking the way that I think. Because
no, you're not the only one.
I just cannot.
You're not the only one. I'm actually trying to see that when people who get overwhelmed about Nigeria talk so much like it is hopeless, it is helpless, everybody is just going to die like this. Sometimes you expect them to give you solution, but they don't have it. They're already overwhelmed by the whole problem thinking, right? That they felt like we're just going to live and die like this. But there are those who disagree. People like me disagree. And I think you disagree too.
I absolutely disagree, because maybe I'm seeing things not just coming from the Nigerian or the African perspective, but also coming from how, like I said, you see how people interact with even Black people here. Like I was having a conversation with someone, and I was saying to somebody that the current state of Africa in general, not just Nigeria, right? The current state of Africa in general, even the story and the history of Africa, the things that we are told about Africa, it's not even from an African perspective. The lines and the borders that we have, even as in the continent, are not even per an African perspective.
No.
Everything that is told to anyone about Africa, everything that we have been given in terms, even our borders that have been drawn for us, is even according to somebody else's perspective, somebody else's own, strategy, somebody else's own desire and design for the continent. We're Africa that we have, that we tell ourselves.
We don't even have the right to actually choose our own name. Think about that.
We don't even have the right. Can you imagine that? Yes, we don't even have the right to choose our own name.
No.
Let me tell you something, Maiyegun. The other day, I just found out that you have ethnic Ibibio people in Cameroon. You have Igbo people in Cameroon.
Yes.
You have so many things. Just the way Nigeria is almost similar to what you have in Cameroon. The only difference is that they are a francophone country.
Because
right?
Oyibo drew the line. They were just like this.
They just drew a line and just did whatever.
They said they were in Berlin during the Berlin conference, right? They said they did.
Yes, during the Berlin conference, they just shared Africa in any whistle that they wanted.
They did like this. Look at me on the screen, right? Look like this.
Yeah.
You see those ones here? West Africans, English. Those ones who are here, up, North Africans, right? Arabic. Sometimes maybe Portuguese too. Those ones who are here, South Africa, you know what I mean? So they drew the line that way.
Yeah.
They didn't give a damn that those lines they were drawing. There were people who are actually brothers, sisters, who are going to end up in another country in that process.
Who was going to end up in another country?
They ended up in a different country.
I think,
like our people who ended up in Benin Republic, for example.
In Benin Republic.
Yorubas.
Exactly. So I mean, I think the reason why I'm even going into this deep is because the part of the reason why I want that geographical expression to succeed, right, is to change the narrative, about our own selves. You know, even if it's just down to changing the name Nigeria, because as it is, we don't even own ourselves.
We don't.
You know, so when I hear somebody say, you know, that if they remove corruption, that it will destroy the country, listen, I was driving when I heard this and I was like, hey, Lord have mercy. What are we going to do?
You had to take your
people
time
are already
to park.
keeping up like this.
And then, you know what, I'm going to call in. I like that.
I'm going to call in. Because if we have given up to the point that doing the right thing is going to disintegrate a place, then maybe that place doesn't deserve to be living. Maybe that place doesn't deserve to exist.
Maybe.
If corruption is the thing that actually is holding it together, then that place does not deserve to exist.
And I'm going to agree with you. If it is what will break Nigeria, why don't you just let it do that? Break it and see what that comes to, right? Charm, thank you so much. I hope you didn't actually park, you know, by the roadside on the way home, right?
So, I have passion like this because I believe, you know, I'm driving my kids and everything. I want them to see how I feel about the continent. I want them to understand even the history that they are even being taught and how they should feel as Africans.
Fantastic, right? Now they should be proud kids, by the way, to have you around. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so thank you so much, Charm, for this again. Okay, you have a very good evening. So that's a Charm, ladies and gentlemen, calling in from the US. We are still talking about their elections, okay? So they organized a kind of seminar, been a symposium, been a summit, because they always organize all those things, okay? They were talking about their 2027 elections. And now, are they going to make sure that the election is credible? They now invited Sowore among the speakers. A lot of people were there. Okay, but Sowore, as usual, I would tell them what it is, that you should not probably build any expectation on things you already know. The election that is already rigged, by the way. So you shouldn't build expectation on that, other than you have to have your own contingency plan. If they are going to rig you, then you have contingency, which will make it impossible, almost like make it difficult or almost impossible for them to do. Sowore at that gathering.
It says that it's prophetic. It's Omowole, which is I'm coming in. Yes. You see, the intervention I have is going to be very short, because I just listened to my friend Prince Adewale asking us to do what we should have been doing a long time ago. In fact, what I have been doing, which most of you always accuse me of being too radical. I am one of the people you know who don't wait for elections, because I've never, since I got into the University of Lagos in 1989 and we were recruited into this struggle against neo-colonialism by the likes of Uche Oyegusha here, I've never believed that Nigerian leaders can do right by the Nigerian people. It's impossible. And any of us who knew what the military did knew how enemies of the people operated. And when they were transiting power to the civilians, they behaved exactly the way the British behaved when they were living in 1960. They left some of their own behind and left the rest for the people they chose. And the mistake we made, we keep repeating all the time, is that we should not have left the stage in 1999, for a struggle that we won, but refused to claim victory for. But because I understood the power of staying the course, I've done everything possible to ensure that these people are fought to a standstill. You see, even the idea of participating in their elections is, in a way, let's be honest with ourselves, an endorsement of their impunity. Because they will announce election and they know that every 4 years we will run around, they will win the election again, we'll go to their own courtrooms, courts manned by judges they appointed, and we expect foolishly that we will get justice from those courts. It's impossible. And what I must tell everybody is that we must take this not just as a struggle that we are appealing to people to join. Take it as a struggle of our lives. Take it as if we are being colonized by the British, and fight as if we need independence all over again. And we must reject anything and everything Tinubu represents. But don't forget that Tinubu is just the symbolic name for the rotten elites that is destroying Nigeria. Even if Tinubu leaves tomorrow, they have tons of Tinubus, like, you know, what they call abacus. You push one away, another one. And they exist in different political parties that we all even are part of, in some cases. That is the truth. And as a result, we must tell ourselves the truth, that joining hands together is not an anathema. And nobody should be begging anybody to join hands together. You are about to sink to the bottom of the sea. Tinubu came to finish what the rest have started, starting from Babangida. And if you look at Nigeria today, Babangida is still part of the political equation. You look at Nigeria today, Obasanjo is still part of the political equation, especially for those of you who do presidential candidacy and you go to their house to seek endorsement. You are as guilty as they are. You must cut away and cut yourself from the rotten past. And that is conversation I had with Wale Oguni last night. He called me that I shouldn't abuse anybody here today, and I promise I won't abuse anybody. But I must not do a disservice, not to tell you the truth, that we are all responsible for where we are today. And in some ways, our responsibility emanates from the fact that a lot of us in the left are tired, but we don't want to accept that we are tired and fagged out. Fatigue has set in. There is no link between the radical past and the current. We are not growing younger, newer, ideological radicals. We are just maintaining, a safe way of existence. And as a result, my call is on all of you who want to change the country. Let's all radicalize now. Don't let it make it look as if those of us who are radical are the outliers. Because I hear from most of you all the time, Sowore zone is too much. Of course, my own has always been much and too much, since I knew consciously that there's no way you can save this country without revolutionary zeal. There's no way you can fight and defeat the system without going all out against the system at all levels. So the same way you find me calling out Tinubu is the same way I call out judges when they preside over my cases and I know the case is not going to be in my favor. And no case has ever been in my favor, except I fought for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we are serious, and this is not just one of those conferences that we have attended, millions of them, and we end up with another communique that we already wrote before we came to the conference, please, let tomorrow be different. If it is not, if we are not speaking radically to the extent of our problems and finding a fundamental solution to it that requires no complacency, no missing of words, please don't ever invite me to any of these conferences again. Thank you very much. Says that is prophetic.
So that's a Sowore. So dropped his piece. So did Adebayo, the SDP presidential candidate. Okay. In fact, that one actually went for the broke by saying that, or indirectly saying that he was approached to be just another opposition who is just going to be out there pretending to be opposing Tinubu, or while he is working for Tinubu. So he rejected that. Unfortunately, they don't have that much attraction, okay, to get rid of Tinubu. Well, this is what Adebayo said at the same meeting or conference.
We are facing a non-performing public officer who wants to pretend that he's performing and want all of us to get along performing with him. And he wants to write a Shakespearean tragedy where we will be given roles to play. So I'm supposed to be a fake opponent, for example. So pretending to be contesting against him without contesting. Then he will like me. I'll give you a lot of money. He already got someone to be impersonating as INEC chairman, who is not the INEC chairman. So before you think of charging Amukutan to call for rigging election, you first have to charge him to call for pretending to be INEC chairman when he's not. So if we want to be happy and there's no problem, we all have to pretend along with him that we are doing transition or election, which is just a prolonged, expensive coronation of one person. So if we don't want to do that, because I will not do that, I'm not very good in drama. So if we won't do that, then we should prepare to fight. So anyone who is not ready to fight should not participate in this transition. Parallel organs in every political party, parallel candidate with political party, parallel program for political parties, and he wants to score 10 million votes, if only 300,000 people are voting. You see, that's why we've been going from courtroom to courtroom, so my apologies. The thing I can say about what is happening to the transition program that we have is that we have to take a template from the transition from military rule. Whatever we did that made us to be able to get the military back to the barracks, we have to do twice that now. Don't be deceived.
Whatever they did to get the military back to the barracks, they must be willing to do twice that now, according to him. He's a very good orator, by the way, talking about the Shakespearean kind of like a script that Tinubu is intending to write, where he's going to allocate roles to different individuals who are going to fit into these different roles, all fake, but he wouldn't want to be part of that. He's a very good talker. The same Adebayo at a different fora.
But the idea of getting rid of President Tinubu's government in the next election is a security concern. Getting rid of Tinubu is no longer about stolen money, stolen subsidy money, mismanaged budget. It's about to stay alive. Tinubu has to go. That's the only extent to which we discuss the subject. That if a government is failing you, you have to relieve that government. Even members of the APC agree with us now that this idea of one-man rule, which was disguised as one-party rule, and they were joining him, they've discovered now that it's one-man rule, and this one man is grossly incompetent, is distracted, is tired, but he doesn't know how to stop because he sees government as a business. But what is important is to ensure that Nigerians don't assume that 2027 is about the political career of individuals. It's about the survival of the country. And if Nigeria survives, then the black race has hope that at least there will be one black country that is functioning in this world. But
right. Again, like he said, we'll see how that is going to also play out. I was going to take you to Senegal. And this is the reason why I am taking you to that Senegal. About 2 years ago, on this platform, we celebrated the success of the duo of Faye and Sonko, Osman Sonko, all right? So their story captivated the world when the then ruling government in Senegal did everything possible to cut down the growing popularity of Sonko. Sonko, Osman Sonko, right, was maybe like the favorite, especially for the young people in Senegal. Then he got charged for defamation. Okay, and he was convicted of that same charges, defamation, which automatically disqualified him from running for office of the president of Senegal. But he has a friend, Faye, who is now the president, by the way, then it was just like one of his kind of like close allies at the time. So he decided, while he was in prison, he decided that Faye should probably just go on and be the face of the revolution. And guess what? They went into that election and they defeated the ruling government. The fear of that ruling government, the then president, right, finally materialized, came to pass. So they lost. It was a landslide. Not only that they controlled the parliament, they controlled the presidency of the country. So a lot of people felt like this was going to probably be, a golden age kind of time in Senegal. Young people, young leaders. Many of us from other parts of Africa quite looked up to them. And we even mocked some of us then that while in Nigeria, you will see 30-something-year-old, 40-something-year-old who are all social media sellers for the criminal politicians that they are supporting. While young people are aspiring to lead their country. We're using these guys as examples. So when Faye became their president, okay, he appointed Sonko as his prime minister. So it was going to be like, oh, this is going to be a good teamwork. And everything was fine at first. Then Senegal started facing the true, real economic crisis. No, well, they have been in that economic crisis, which also aided their own emergence, like how they ascended to power. So the World Bank, the IMF, Sonko is the type that believes that any money given by this imperialist in Koto, this Western world, is this to steal the resources of Senegal and at the same time impoverish them. So their deal, Sonko's mind was like, their deal is anything that these Westerners want to do. They shouldn't give them money. They don't want their loans. They would rather want them to develop their resources inside Senegal. But sadly, Faye, because he's the president now, he's the one that everybody is calling on, all right? He went on to go and collect these loans. That disagreement and many other things and other of their policies, right? They have this disagreement. So the relationship started going sour about a year after they assumed power. Then it became very terribly sour, like about 2 years in power, in that government. So Faye couldn't take it anymore. He sacked Sonko last week as the prime minister, dissolved his government, which means all those guys who are like the members of their whatever, right, probably influenced by Sonko, they were all removed. So he reappointed those he trusted, and he went on with all his policies that Sonko opposed. Then, what can be called a twist of fate, something happened. Sonko ended up having the speaker of their National Assembly, their parliament, to step down. And then he, as a senior party member as well, was able to replace that person and got elected as the speaker of the parliament. So right now, two former friends, still in the same political party, by the way, two former friends, two former allies, now on the opposing camp, where Faye can no longer do all things he thought he could do, or he was able to do back then, now that Sonko is in the parliament. So that also gives him the chance to now run against him, Faye, in their next election. So I put all this together, it's in French and all that, but you just watch, all right? These were people that we thought would become the model, kind of like a role model kind of leadership in Africa. People we could probably refer to in a decade time and say, when these guys took over Senegal, look at what they did. But that didn't happen. As we speak, I'll take you to Senegal, then I'll take calls.
Ñi nangu votel monsieur Ousmane Sonko ñu ngi toll ci 132 donc am nañ 132 ma yeggale amul kenn ku ko contre amna ku mandu amna benn bu mandu bulletin nul amul tam 0 la et donc monsieur Ousmane Sonko ayant obtenu 132 voix est élu président de l'Assemblée nationale du Sénégal. Chers collègues, chers collègues, chers collègues, chers collègues,
Yarga fu ñuy dem madame
s'il vous plaît, faut garder le silence. Mun ngeen yëkkati papier bu blanc bi mais bàyyi leen woy.
Félicitations. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Chers collègues,
elle se fera autour des orientations et du programme. Sur quoi devrons nous entendre désormais avec l'exécutif? Quels sont les engagements qui ont été pris récemment sur la question liée à la restructuration? Quelles perspectives pour le maintien du pouvoir d'achat et éviter de faire subir aux Sénégalais les conséquences d'une augmentation? Quid de la justice et du jubal jubanti? Autant de questions qui devront fonder les discussions si l'année avec le président de la République pour pouvoir envisager de continuer à l'accompagner dans la sérénité, le parti, l'Assemblée nationale, les majorités que nous détenons aussi bien dans l'opposition qu'au niveau de l'exécutif. Et j'en appelle donc à la responsabilité, au sens du dépassement. On ne peut pas être dans un système d'hyper-présidentialisme au Sénégal aujourd'hui. Et la configuration actuelle en a décidé ainsi. Mesdames et messieurs les honorables.
For my friends. So Sonko, that guy, yeah, that's Sonko. So he's a Pan-Africanist, kind of, you know, the one that doesn't believe in this Western, imperialism or this Western dominance where resources of Africa is kind of like they are taken like so cheaply. So to him, Africa shouldn't go cap in hands begging these guys. And he kept reminding the president that that's our stand. You have to take your stand. We fought to drag Senegal away from France. All right? You can't take Senegal back to France. But Faye is the president. He is the one people are cursing, blaming, abusing, and the rest of that. So he chose what he believed is the easiest way out to save Senegal. It's still not working. So the country is battling serious economic crisis to the point that I think they are paying, they are servicing their debt to the tune of $2 billion, I think, every year or thereabout, which have so much adverse effect on their country and their economy. So it is the clash of ideology, right? By the way, so it is not about ego or anything. No, it's just clash of ideology. Don't do this. No, I have to do what I have to do. No, don't do that. I have to do what I have to do. Okay. If you disagree with me, then maybe we shouldn't be working together. And then he sacked him, dissolved the cabinet. So right now, Faye is in court to challenge this because Stone Cold's influence is really, really that massive that despite Faye being the president, okay, he has no real control over the parliament or the party per se. Stone Cold still wield that much influence that the way this whole thing played out, now he's the speaker. So whatever Faye wants to do, he's got to pass through him. And that is why he's promising them that he's never going to use his position to antagonize the president or the executive branch. Okay, he will take his responsibility as he should in the interest of the Senegal people. So we are going to pay attention to what's going on there now, right? As you might begin to see Stone Cold for president again. You know, one thing I'm not clear about is that if Faye committed this conviction, and that will allow him to run for president, because people are already saying that he's going to run for president against his power. Well, let's go to Nigeria. Still talking about elections, though, by the way. You have those who are currently licking their wounds simply because of what APC did to them. One of them is Pa Ned Nwoko, Regina's ex-husband. He was with Charles on the rise yesterday, talking about the aftermath of the APC primaries. He said he was promised an automatic ticket when he joined APC, only for them to take it away from him and give it to Okowa. So they betrayed him, basically.
The legacy APC members have been shoved aside. And the new guys that came in took over practically everything.
Yeah, but was that the prize that was given to them for them to move into the APC?
Well, it must be, because
well, if you're not aware of it, then you're clearly not a man with an ear to the ground in your own state.
I myself and others were promised that there will be discussions,
right,
on the new structure of the party. And we believed that there would be some...
Who promised you that?
Oh, come on, the former chairman.
Right.
The former chairman, Maiyegun, who was the national chairman. We had meetings. We had meetings with him and he and other leaders of the party, and we were assured that there will be some sharing formula, power sharing formula. You know, we're even told, for example, that the state ESCO, you know, will be dissolved, and that there will be nominations to enable the old AP to you know, get a foothold into the government. But that was never done. It was never done.
And of course, Ganduje is no longer the chair.
Of course, yes. That was the problem. That was the problem, you know. So I certainly was told before I came into the party that there will be an automatic ticket for me. And why would I just live like that without making sure that I have a secure...
Right. So that promise was broken, basically, because it wasn't an automatic ticket. I mean, you had to compete for the ticket.
Yes, yes.
If independent evidence ultimately showed that Ifeanyi Okowa genuinely won fairly, would you concede publicly and ask your supporters to move on?
No.
Because you know that
look, I was there.
If you
I have the evidence. I have the video. Look, you cannot convince somebody who is innocent to say I am guilty. It's not possible.
Indeed.
It's not possible.
Right.
You know, we won the primary.
So when will you know
in 98 wards.
Right.
All that Ifeanyi Okowa did was just to show evidence of one ward where there was...
So you won all the wards?
No, I couldn't have won his ward.
Right.
That would be foolhardy of me
to
think I will win his ward. Because
you won the majority of them?
Of course, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So when are you likely to know what the decision is about this?
I don't know, but I'm sure that the National Party will... at the legacy APC.
So, Ned Nwoko is counting on the people in APC to do the right thing because he felt cheated. You know what I mean? Like the shortchanged him, apart from promising him an automatic ticket when he joined APC. It's like the last comer or the late comers got it after him, before him rather. There's a place called Ogidi in Kogi State. If you are from Kogi State, Adeza, you watching? Adeza. Here is the people of Ogidi calling on the Olodu of Kogi, their governor. So please do something about this terrible road.
Ogidi na-eme protest because of mmiri Ogidi edebere na
Adeza, I just called you out there, but that's actually not Kogi. Sorry about that. So they said it's in Anambra. But this one is kind of like a capture, right? People were protesting against police brutality. in Nigeria is a place where people will be protesting against police brutality. The government should do something about police brutality. And the next thing that will happen is that police will start brutalizing them again. Like police guilty, police brutality, end police brutality. And you are doing that, your peaceful protest, end police brutality, and then boom, bah, go. Police are unleashing the brutality again. Only in Nigeria. I'll show you this. And this one is, I'm gonna.
China's haters! Police brutality! Police brutality! Haters! Yeah, so. Haters! 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 Police brutality!
And they pass it. I see. And police.
Open gun sound.
See, you are complaining about police brutality. And while you are doing your peaceful protest, police started shooting to disperse you, just to give credence to your protest. And say, okay, yeah, is that why you are protesting? Yes, because police are brutalizing us. So we want that to stop. And then the police turn around and they're bah, 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 everybody shooting them. Crazy, yeah? Well, they say that if you want to go for protest in Nigeria, you need to go and Google what are the equipment or the materials needed to participate in the protest in Nigeria. I can tell you some, okay? Or you can try and Google it if you want to participate in any protest in Nigeria, okay? No matter how small or big. So you need one, to get yourself helmet, that strong one, go. You need to get yourself gas mask, okay? You need to get yourself, what do you call that thing? That shield, bulletproof vest. Then you also need to get yourself a very solid standard trainers. You know what I mean? That can help you run. And also, you also need to keep your fitness serious. You know what I mean? Or else, think I'm well, okay? Because the criminals in Nigeria are ready to crush Nigerians who are asking for good governance, protesting bad leadership, even protesting against insecurity in Nigeria. They will have all the needed policemen, DSS, military. They always have all the gears, okay, to suppress any form of protest. But they just don't have all it takes to crush the terrorist. You remember ID Kabasa, Lord of Ajasa? Remember that guy? He has added his own voice to the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Like many others too, you know, those artists, they are beginning to speak up too. Yeah, they are.
It's so sad now that we have gotten used to evil. Nigerians have gotten used to the killing. We have adjusted to the darkness that has covered this country. The government of the day is not taking action. And it's so sad that even when we are supposed to speak up, people pick political divides. We make all of these things political, we make it religious, we make it ethnical, we make it tribal. And I am saying this, the devil is devouring us in Nigeria. Evil is devouring us, and it's so sad. Whatever name they call it, banditry, terrorism, is eating us in Nigeria. They are taking our loved ones. Parents are no longer at ease sending their kids to school. An innocent teacher was beheaded. A woman, the last time, a woman was carrying her child and was praying that the child should not have died. A guy that was already dead should not die. And the next minute, another challenge will come up online where people start to work on trends. Comic relief will come, and we keep readjusting like frogs in boiling water. There is a need. If there is a darkness over Nigeria, whether it's from the government or from any forces that is coming from, it needs to be broken. Nigerians, if you have a voice, speak up, speak up. This thing is getting close to home. It's getting close to home. The way I've been feeling in the last few days as regards this killing is as if these terror guys, they are even the ones in government. The way it looks now, because you can't tell me that the government can be this helpless, that people died. Nothing solid has actually come from the government. Nothing solid has come. I see when some of these things happen in the United States, the emphatic way that the presidency will talk that will come after you, we will get you and will gun you down. But what do? We get to rehabilitate these same guys that have caused mayhem, that have caused families to cry, that have caused pain. We say that we are rehabilitating them, we are bringing them back into the system. Nigerian government, do something about this.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the knockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make a.
They don't care. That's just the summary. They don't care. So Kalu returned back to Lagos anyway after the show of shame called the primaries. Okay, so he returned back to Lagos, and he was caught on camera. We are rounding up now.
Wow. Oh God. Hey, see, I'm gonna pass there. All this are way past now. Where in there? You inside there now. Where in there? All this one now. They carry gun everywhere like that.
Anyway, so I want to say thank you to us. But a quick reminder as well, by the way, if you haven't liked the broadcasts, please do before you leave, okay? And share it as well. And also subscribe onto the channel too. So this is us now arrive at the end of the program. So we're going to draw the curtains now. So thank you so much for your time. And I am going to see you another time, okay? So until then, you all have a great Idil Adha. That's Ileya tomorrow. And you should send my meat because I've not actually eaten Ileya's meat for the past 14 years. That's quite a while. So you should all have a great Ileya. And please join me another time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Maiyegun dáyàrí Politico. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dáyàrí Maiyegun nàmbà wá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lápàrà ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.